Okay, so you ever like open your eyes in the morning and you're just like, how did this already happen? Like the shoes are gone, the homework's missing, and we're already 10 minutes behind
Yeah.
every single day. It's like Groundhog Day.
Every day.
But that's why we're here, right?
Right.
We're diving into these morning routines that everybody talks about, but we're
Yes.
going deeper than just like the surface level tips.
Right.
We're figuring out why they work, especially for kids.
Exactly.
So first up, this whole like get everything ready the night before thing,
Yes.
which I know.
I know.
We all know.
We all know.
But I'm the first one who's like, oh, it's fine, we'll do it in the morning. Pajamas are calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why is that step so important?
Because, okay, so imagine you're a kid and you wake up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and your brain is still like half asleep.
Right.
But you've got to decide what to wear, what to eat.
Yeah.
Did I find that permission slip?
Oh, yeah.
It's too much.
It's like information overload before they've even had their breakfast.
Exactly. And that part of their brain that makes decisions and plans, it's still developing.
They're not firing on all cylinders yet.
Not yet.
Mm.
So when we prep the night before, it's like we're giving their brains a break.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. Instead of picking out clothes when they're already stressed, they actually get to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's brilliant. All right, next up, the wake up time thing.
Yes.
This one's hard
I know.
because even I am guilty of loving a good weekend sleep in.
Right.
But how important is that consistency, really?
It's so important.
Really?
It's all about our body clock.
Okay.
You know how we have that internal clock?
Yeah.
And when we stick to a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends, it helps that clock work better.
Oh, like it regulates it.
Exactly. And when our body clock is happy, we sleep better.
Right.
And when we sleep better, we're more focused. We're in a better mood.
Everything just works.
Everything just works. And this is even more important for kids because their internal clocks are still developing.
Oh, so they're even more sensitive to those changes in schedule.
Exactly. So that's why you might notice after a late night movie night
Oh, totally.
or sleeping in on the weekend.
Cue the meltdowns.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here. So next up, let's talk about food.
Yes.
Breakfast.
Important.
Super important. But I think we all know that a hangry kid is a recipe for disaster.
Definitely.
But what about beyond that?
So breakfast, it's not just about preventing a meltdown.
Okay.
It's about giving those amazing little brains the fuel they need to learn and grow.
It's brain food.
It's brain food. And
Yeah.
you know what else?
What?
Having that consistent breakfast routine, it can actually make mornings smoother.
Okay, how so?
Well, for one, it often means less back and forth about what they will or won't eat.
Oh, because they know what to expect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It becomes a habit. And that frees up more time for you to connect as a family.
Even if it's just for a few minutes over a bowl of cereal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those little moments matter. And you know what? Studies have shown that families who eat together regularly, even if it's just a quick breakfast,
Yeah.
their kids tend to do better academically.
Wow. I did not realize there was a connection there.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Okay, so on to tip number 4. This one's interesting. Checklists.
Checklist.
I'll admit, at first I thought, do I really want to be that parent with a checklist for everything?
Yeah, I get it. But hear me out.
Okay.
Checklists, they're not about being rigid or controlling.
Right.
They're actually a really great way to foster independence.
Really?
Think about it. For a kid, a morning routine can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, they've got a lot to remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a checklist breaks those tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Like a roadmap for their morning.
Exactly. And because they can see it, it helps them stay on track.
So instead of us constantly reminding them,
Exactly. A visual reminder is much more effective than us nagging.
it's true. There's something about seeing it written down or drawn out.
Right. And the key here is to make it fun.
Okay.
Get them involved in creating the checklist.
Oh.
Let them use stickers, drawings, whatever they're into.
So they feel ownership over it.
Exactly. The more ownership they feel, the more likely they are to actually use it.
I love that. Okay, and finally, our last tip.
Yes.
Start with sunshine. Now, I know this one sounds cheesy, but
You mean start the day with a positive attitude?
yeah, exactly. Because I've noticed even if I'm trying to hide it, if I'm stressed, my kids totally pick up on it.
Oh, absolutely. Kids are like emotional sponges.
They really are.
They absorb the energy around them.
So if we start the day frazzled and stress,
They're going to mirror that energy.
and on the flip side,
When we approach the morning with a positive attitude,
it sets a calmer, more positive tone for everyone.
exactly. It's like priming their brains for a good day.
I love that. So to our listeners out there, what's one thing you can do, even if it's small, to boost your own mood before you interact with your kids in the morning?
Yeah,
Now remember, everyone, these tips are great, but the magic really happens when you adapt them to your family, your kids.
absolutely. What works for one family might not work for another.
Exactly. So observe what works, what doesn't.
And don't be afraid to adjust.
Routines should be helpful, not stressful.
Exactly.
And if you're finding that mornings are consistently a struggle even with these tips, it might be a sign to dig a little deeper.
Right. It could be something related to sleep or development or something else entirely.
And in those cases, don't hesitate to reach out to a professional.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone, that's our deep dive on building rock-solid morning routines. Catch you next time.